Trying intermittent fasting, especially in the popular 16:8 format, can be a transformative strategy for reducing visceral fat when done correctly and consistently. Visceral fat, the harmful fat that builds up around your internal organs, thrives in conditions of insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, and constant calorie excess. It directly targets these mechanisms by altering when you eat, not necessarily what you eat, shifting your body into a fat-burning, hormone-regulating mode that is uniquely effective at dismantling fat stored deep in the abdomen. The 16:8 approach is simple. You fast for 16 hours, including overnight, and consume all your daily food within an 8-hour window. For many people, this means skipping breakfast and eating only from, say, noon to 8 p.m. While this sounds restrictive at first, your body quickly adapts, and what happens during the fasting window is the real magic. During this period, insulin levels drop significantly, allowing fat-burning processes to kick in. With insulin low, the body switches from storing energy to using it, breaking down fat, particularly visceral fat, for fuel. One of the most powerful aspects of intermittent fasting is its impact on insulin sensitivity. Insulin resistance is a core driver of visceral fat accumulation, and it becomes a vicious cycle. The more visceral fat you have, the more resistant your cells become to insulin, and the harder it becomes to burn fat. It breaks this cycle. By giving your body long breaks without food, especially carbohydrates, insulin levels stabilize and your cells become more responsive. This makes it easier for the body to mobilize fat, including that wrapped around your liver and pancreas, and use it for energy. Scientific research supports this. Studies show that intermittent fasting leads to reductions in waist circumference and visceral fat, even when total calories remain constant. That means it doesn't work solely by reducing food intake, it actually changes how your body processes energy. It improves mitochondrial efficiency, reduces oxidative stress, and enhances autophagy, a cellular cleanup process that becomes especially active during fasting and is believed to help reverse metabolic dysfunction linked to abdominal fat. There's another important benefit. Fasting helps lower levels of systemic inflammation. Since visceral fat produces inflammatory chemicals like IL-6 and TNF-alpha, reducing it has downstream effects on your immune system, cardiovascular health, and even cognitive function. It lowers inflammation markers directly and indirectly by reducing the fat that causes them. But here's the warning. Intermittent fasting is not a license to binge or eat poorly during the feeding window. If your eating period is filled with refined carbs, trans fats, or excessive calories, you'll undo the metabolic benefits of fasting. If it amplifies healthy habits, it does not override bad ones. The quality of your food still matters. Whole foods rich in fiber, protein, and healthy fats are essential during your eating window if you want to burn visceral fat and keep it off. Also, fasting isn't right for everyone. People with a history of disordered eating, certain medical conditions, or very high stress levels may find fasting counterproductive or even harmful. If you experience irritability, dizziness, extreme fatigue, or rebound overeating, it might not be the best approach for you, or may require modification. Women, in particular, may need to adjust fasting windows based on hormonal cycles and individual tolerance. When done mindfully, though, intermittent fasting can be a metabolic reset, not just a dietary trick. It trains your body to rely less on constant food intake and more on its own fat stores, especially visceral fat. Over time, this can lead to meaningful reductions in waist circumference, improved energy regulation, and lower risk for diabetes, fatty liver, and cardiovascular disease. In a world where most people eat from the moment they wake up to the moment they sleep, intermittent fasting forces a break in that constant insulin stimulation. It gives your body a pause, a chance to catch up, clean out, and rebalance. And when that pause becomes a daily habit, it can slowly, powerfully chip away at the most dangerous fat in your body.